The Eagles have the worst pass defense in the NFL. Falk will chest it. Here comes Graham. Down goes Falk. Falk the fake. Here comes the rush, and it's picked off on the play. Coming through, Nathan Geary. It's a pick six. Make it 20. And an interception. Rodney McLeod. Here comes Poole. Picked up by Lane Johnson to the end zone. It's Hurts. Touchdown. Great time. Look out. Scandrick. He took it away. A la Herman Edwards. Look at him go. There goes Scandrick. Down the stretch and into the end zone. Touchdown. Today, here comes Fales. It's a 3rd and 4. The 10th sack in Barnett.
What's happening, everybody? This is the Philly Experience Podcast alongside Chris Hacker, Tanner Martin, and Tyler Hood. I'm your host, Max James. It's great to be with you on this Tuesday, October 8th. It's great to be talking about an Eagles W as well, as they beat the New York Jets this past weekend, 31-6, in a pretty convincing win. We'll get into it in a minute, but T, first, a couple words.
Yep. All right. For all Monco students, tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be having a transfer fair over in Central Hall. Listen, for all you college kids out there that, you come in here, you get your associate's degree, you're thinking to yourself, what am I going to do after 2 years? What am I going to do? Should I go to another 4-year college? Well, if you're considering that option, you can always visit the transfer fair tomorrow over in College Hall, where there'll be over 50 schools. You can look at the different schools. You can see what they're offering. You can see what your options are. And for those of you that already are decided that you're going to go to a 4-year institution, hey, maybe there are other options out there for you. Maybe there are simpler options. Maybe there's a college that has the same thing that you're interested in, but maybe they're a cheaper option. You won't know unless you attend the transfer fair tomorrow over in the College Hall. All right, let's get this show started.
All right, let's dive into it, guys. Wentz yesterday, 2 days ago, 17-29, threw for 189 yards and a touchdown. A lot of people said that he didn't play well. What did you guys see from him?
Listen,
I agree with those people.
Listen, relax. All right, you're talking about going up against one of the top defenses in the NFL. Now, yes, the Jets may not be ranked top defensively. Oh, stop it, Tanner. Stop it, Tanner. Stop it. All right,
what's happening to the world right now?
Look. The Jets are still a competitive football team at the end of the day. And also, considering the fact that we still don't have our deep threat in Deshaun Jackson yet, I still say the Eagles did pretty good. Now, I know Carson Wentz didn't look like a superstar quarterback, but Tom Brady also struggled against the Jets as well.
Okay.
T,
let me tell you something. 5 for 13 on third downs. That's what our offense did against the Jets.
And then I can't just put everything on Carson Wentz, because if you also look, there are also a lot of penalties. A lot of penalties on the offensive side of the ball. And when you have that many penalties, you're not going to get into a rhythm, period, point blank. I don't care what you do. I don't care what offense you have. I don't care what pieces you have. If you're going to keep committing self-inflicted wounds, you're not going to be a competitive football team. I don't care what side of the ball it is, period. Now, what's your counter-argument now? What's up? What's happening?
I mean, they played the Jets, I was not too impressed.
Look, a team like the Jets, come on. I feel like you're
going backwards, damn it. Let's go.
As harsh as you are on the defense, you are way too soft on the offense.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
And the defense had quite a get. Don't get me wrong.
There you go.
The defense just had to stop Le'Veon Bell, but...
they did their job, all right? They did what they were supposed to. Hey, Max, real quick.
So you're more impressed with the offense than the defense?
I'm more impressed with the defense than
the
offense.
There you
go. Okay, well, thank you.
Don't get that twisted.
They had 3 turnovers, including a pick six, Nathan Gary, yeah.
Hey, Max.
A strip sack
What's up?
A strip sack, Orlando Scandrick, and what else?
I got to call you out from last week.
Uh-oh.
I got to call you out. You said some really interesting, provocative things about a man who just had 3 sacks on Sunday. So let's bring up the Philly Experience Podcast, episode 29, No Kids and Strong Back, also available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify, also YouTube. Let's bring up some of your interesting comments real quick. Hold on.
Enlighten us.
Just blow a play up, and I'm like, Dad, he's back. And then I'll look again, and I'm like, dude,
I'm sick of Brandon Graham, actually. I'm starting to get frustrated.
So, Max,
Wow.
we should have kept...
I'm not finished.
Oh boy.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished with you. Oh, it's just the beginning for you. I'm ripping you apart. Because I told you, stop with your extreme comments. Listen, sometimes you just got to cut people a break, all right? Listen, here we go. Let's go. Give Deshaun Hall a shot.
I'd cut Brandon Graham right now.
Whoa.
Save
Okay.
Whoa.
All right, T.
No.
Wait.
Brandon Graham has one good game against the worst team in the league, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to
I'm not finished.
get him back up on his pedestal, put him up high.
I'm not finished ripping you, as a wise man once said.
You dumbass.
So you didn't mark when he said he was a Cowboys fan too?
Listen, that offensive line for the Jets is horrible. I mean, Brandon Graham finally went up against somebody that was old as like he is and slow, and he finally was able to sack the worst starter in the league, Luke
They
Paul.
sacked him 9 times, and he was hit 17 times.
That's beautiful.
He had a
man.
passer rating of 37.7. I mean, it can't get any worse than that. And Brandon Graham, give him credit. He got the job done. But still, I'm not freaking out about it.
Dude.
I think as this season goes on,
T, you gotta understand what he's saying.
I understand completely what he's saying, but 3 sacks against an NFL team is still 3 sacks against an NFL team.
3 sacks against a blades of grass as an offensive line. It's not too special.
Man, that's ludicrous.
Oh, and that other turnover was Rodney McLeod. Got the interception.
Everybody was playing well. Even Nate Gary was playing well.
Orlando Scandrick.
Everyone
4 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 touchdown.
Everyone but Rodney McLeod was playing well.
You know, it's encouraging that the defense played well yesterday. I know the whole situation with the team that we were playing against, but it's good to, have confidence in them going forward. Hopefully, I know we got a much tougher test this weekend coming up against Minnesota, but it's good to at least them being able to show us that, okay, I know the offense was terrible that they were playing against, but they were still able to get the job done.
The only thing that this gives us is a W. Nothing else. It doesn't. We still need to go out there and practice more and more because of the way we played against this Jets defense.
No, I completely agree with that statement. I completely agree with you, but at the same time, this offense is still lacking a deep threat receiver.
Listen, back in 2017, our Super Bowl year, we didn't really have a deep threat receiver. I mean, Torrey Smith, I guess.
Yeah, we did.
But he kind of sucked, except for that one catch he made.
But Torrey Smith did his job.
Showed up when he needed to.
Yes.
He did.
I really don't remember a single highlight except
and Nelson
for
Aguilar was also another deep threat.
But why don't we have Nelson Aguilar?
We can't really trust him.
I agree.
But let me bring up a name for you guys, and this sounds familiar, but maybe give Mike Wallace a second shot.
I mean, what's he up to nowadays?
I mean, he knows the plays. He hasn't even touched the ball on the Eagles' offense.
If I'm being honest though, Tanner, from that, if he knows the plays and they're the same from last year, I'm a little concerned. But
he's 33.
You gotta
see. That's my only thing. At 33, how much speed do you have left?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, how old's Deshaun Jackson?
He's 32.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say.
But Deshaun Jackson has shown that he still has the speed though. He can still burn.
Yeah, when's the last time Mike Wallace played in the league?
That's
he's
another
injured.
good point.
2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
He played almost not at all last year. So
No, he didn't play at all. Well, he played 2 games.
Preseason. Yeah.
He played 2 regular season games. He didn't catch the ball at all.
But
And then he broke his ankle and he was out for the year.
Yep.
So Deshaun has a
Abdominal.
They're saying it's a
is
strain.
it a sports hernia?
It might be.
They're saying it's a strain from the press conference that I listened to with Doug Peterson yesterday.
I thought you said he got a strain from the press conference.
He should have just had surgery on it and then brought him back like later in the year. But at this point now he just has to rehab it. But if he got the surgery like 3 weeks ago, his timetable for return.
We really need him against the Vikings too.
I agree.
It's not going to happen.
I agree.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. That Vikings defense, man, they are some aggressive dogs.
That's probably the only thing they were worried about too, and now they don't have to worry about Deshaun Jackson going deep. So.
Exactly. Now, 'cause I ain't got to worry about Nelson Aguilar. Let's be honest here. The man caught one ball. Man caught one ball on Sunday and fumbled it out of bounds. Like he is not reliable at this point.
Like the good news is we got to play Kirk Cousins, so we have some. We should have some confidence as far as coming off of how we played this past weekend, and then going on the road. I get it's a tough test, but again, Cousins.
He got some
he's
drama going on too, so
yeah,
that's true, and we can only increase that drama by doing what we're supposed to do up front. The same way we played up against the Jets. I'm not expecting us to get 10 sacks again. All right, that was legendary what we seen on Sunday. I'm not expecting that again, But doggone it, you got to hit Kirk Cousins. Because, listen, if we're going to continue going into games with Craig James, Rasul Douglas, and Orlando Scandrick, who, yes, I agree, had an awesome game considering the fact that we just signed him off the street not too long ago. Listen, Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs are going to tear us.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Forgot about Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Well, yeah, I was also going to say.
The run game, I'm not too worried about.
You're not worried about Dalvin Cook.
We just shut down Le'Veon Bell.
That's crazy.
Dalvin Cook is better than Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell had 15 touches in the first half.
I would argue that this year, Dalvin Cook is better than Le'Veon Bell.
Statistic-wise.
You can't say you're not worried about
this
Dalvin
defense
Cook.
is
I'm not
very
gonna say-
strong against the run.
Okay,
I'm worried about. I'm worried that we're going to see what we saw last year against the Vikings, and that's Adam Thielen just killing us.
Yeah, that I'm worried about. Like, I'm not going to say I'm not concerned at all about Dalvin Cook. I am still a little concerned, but at the same time, my defense still has a track record of stopping the run. If we can stop the run and get to the quarterback like we're supposed to do, like the defense is designed to do, then I think we're going to have a successful game against the Vikings.
I think Dalvin Cook's probably been the best running back in the league this year. I get we have a good track record.
McCaffrey.
I was about to say,
C-Mac, you can.
Yeah.
I was looking at the stats statistically speaking, but yeah, you're right. Probably McCaffrey has based on because he can catch passes. Dalvin Cook can too, but I mean, man, McCaffrey has wide receiver lines from a catching standpoint. Some weeks.
By the way, Tanner, you know what?
He pisses me off.
Seriously, and you know why? Really?
Who?
You blew me out in fantasy this week, man.
Oh,
Man?
Well,
that
I
was
had
the luckiest lineup I have ever faced in my life.
After you came in here and said, "Oh, this is gonna be an easy week," trash.
True.
Going back to you guys
your
asking about Mike Wallace, in 2017 season he had 52 catches, 748 yards, averaged 14.4, and he had 11 20-plus catches.
Was he on Carolina at the time?
He was on the Ravens.
I'm getting my people mixed up.
All I'm saying is, man, back to the Vikings, man. Like I said, you don't have to be legendary to beat the Vikings. They are in turmoil at this point. They are still a beatable team. They have been proven that they are beatable. But you have to stay disciplined, and you also have to attack Kirk Cousins. He is one of those quarterbacks that does not like quarterback hits. He does not like pressures, and he sure as hell don't like sacks.
Do you expect to win?
He does like money.
Well, Vegas says we're underdogs by 3.
They beat the Giants 28-10.
Yeah, but this is the Giants.
Okay, that's the Jets that we beat this week. You see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying here? They're both New York teams.
Bunch
They're
of
both
lowlifes.
trash. We get it.
I'm a little nervous. One, it's a road game, so you got to
Yeah.
factor that in. It's hard to play in that building.
What's the goal?
Just the fact that everything that haunted me last year with Thielen, like you said, and Diggs and Cousins. If you know that Thielen and Diggs are going to be open. If Cousins can hit them, then we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Dalvin Cook they didn't have a running game last year, really. I mean, Dalvin Cook, I think he was hurt by the time we played him. So I think that if he gets going, then we're in big time trouble. Because I know our offense, I don't think our offense is the problem. I know they didn't play well against the Jets, but I think they'll show up, and I think it'll be competitive. But I don't know. Hopefully, in the end, we can pull it out. I'm just a little skeptical.
I can tell you one thing from an offensive standpoint that really encouraged me was Miles Sanders' pass blocking. I mean, there was one play where they came on a corner blitz. They call it a cat blitz. Man, he laid him out. Boom. Head underneath the chin, perfect form. Put the corner on his ass.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah, I sat here a couple weeks ago and told you that Miles Sanders is talented back, and he can try to do it. I know
4 catches, 49 yards.
So he hasn't been making people miss on the ground yet, which hopefully comes, with time. But I mean, Howard, just keep running him the way he's rushing. I mean, he averaged over 4 yards a carry 2 days ago. So Doug already said he's going to try to get him more carries, which you can't disagree with. I mean, he's producing well. But yeah, the tandem in the backfield's working out pretty well so far.
I agree. I completely agree
These
with that
next
statement.
4 games, Vikings, Cowboys, Bills, Bears. What's our record going into the bye
Wait a
week?
second. Say that slower for me.
Vikings, Cowboys, Bills, Bears. What's he here for?
In the next 4 games, I'll say that we go 3-1.
Really?
If we go 2-2, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 2-2.
If we go 2-2, I'll be satisfied.
I'm gonna say 3-1.
Now,
Who do you have us beating? The Bills?
I have us
They
beating,
have a tough defense.
I have us beating.
you know what's funny?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
You know what's funny? We always do good against good defenses. Like, remember how when we played the Bears in the playoffs?
always.
Remember when we played the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
Well, then I wouldn't necessarily call it a defense. I call that offense, no D. But listen, we for some reason we have Doug Peterson has a pretty good track record with good defenses.
Yeah.
Like, he has a pretty good record of countering good defensive players. Like Khalil Mack when we went up against the Bears. Khalil Mack really had a quiet game against us in the wild card. So going up against a defense, it's going to be a dogfight. I expect it to be a dogfight, but as long as our defense holds up their end of the bargain, and as long as we keep scrapping and we keep the ball on the ground, I think we'll come out victorious in those defensive games.
Yeah, you make good points there. I think in the next 4, you say we go 2-2. Do you think who do we lose to, in your opinion?
The Cowboys is always a flip of a coin.
I think we'll split with the Cowboys.
I
don't think we'll be able to beat them twice.
I think with whatever quarterback that's behind center in Chicago, we can beat the Bears.
Mitchell.
The Bills are going to be a dogfight, but I still think they're beatable because their offense still isn't like a well-oiled machine.
So what's our 4-game record?
So at that point, we're 3-2 now, so that would be 5-4.
Jeez.
But that could still win in the NFC East because as you've seen this past Sunday, Cowboys went up against a good team for once.
Yeah.
You must have been really disappointed, man.
It's
For twice.
I'm kidding.
it's really tough to pick. I mean, a couple of these games it could go either way. With the Vikings, a game it could go either way in my opinion. Same thing with the Cowboys on the road. I think we should beat the Bills. I know they're better than what people may think they are based on previous seasons, but I think we can beat them. And after what I've seen with the Bears 2 days ago against the Raiders, and the Raiders beating them in London, I gotta be confident playing them, especially at home.
Exactly. Right. That's a home game, so I do feel a little better about that. The Vikings are beatable. I just worry if the offense is going to be able to get into a rhythm. That's my only concern with the Vikings.
I'm worried if the defense is going to fall back to earth after last week and play like how they did against the Packers, where Rodgers just picked them apart.
Oh, trust me. If they played like they played against the Packers, we in trouble.
The important thing is to get pressure on Cousins. If he has time back there, he'll find the receivers. They'll be open. They're too talented to not be. So we need to get pressure. And Jim Schwartz, I mean, 1 week he gets pressure, the other week he can, and we end up losing. Like, against the Falcons, he just couldn't get pressure. Well, this week, obviously. Of course, we got pressure on the Jets. But
I felt like Jim Schwartz probably threw every single blitz in his playbook at the Jets.
I feel like he's been blitz happy. I mean, last year, or even before, 2 years ago, people were saying blitz more, and he wouldn't. He would just rush forward. Now all of a sudden he's disguised, and I think he's changed his mindset a little bit.
Well, he doesn't have a choice but to change his mindset due to the defensive backs that we have. Now, you run a risk because you leave those defensive backs one-on-one in coverage because you are sending extra people to blitz. But at the same time, a blitz is not effective unless you hit the quarterback. Unless you hit the quarterback, a blitz can be exposed.
At least get him out of the pocket.
Yes. At least get him moving.
Mm-hmm.
Get his feet moving. Kirk Cousins doesn't like to move too much.
He doesn't.
Keep him in. If you get him moving, laterally, and you start smacking him around.
Gotta get pressure.
Get in his face. Push lineman in front of him. Oh, he's gonna crumble real quick.
But here's the problem. Are you confident that we do get pressure?
See, that's the only thing. Like, one good game against the Jets, but the problem is it's the stinking Jets. Like, that's the one thing I'm struggling with.
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, look at the Packers game. I think we only got 1 sack on Rodgers. Couldn't get to him, and he picked us apart.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, but we won.
Yeah, we won.
Yeah, we did.
But
It's so. I mean, the season so far has been so. It's just two ends of a spectrum. Where either come out and one side of the team plays well, like the defensive side of the ball that play well. The offense maybe will struggle. or the defense will get cooked, but the offense comes out and plays well. I mean, you have no idea, and heading into a game like the Vikings, that's not going to help you. You need to have some consistency.
Can you imagine if we had a game like the Packers, like the way we played against the Packers on offense, the way we played against the Jets on defense? Can you imagine what this team would look like? They would be dangerous. They'd be the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, but we all know our defense is still horrible.
It is. That's just sad. No, our defensive backs are horrible.
Well, yeah. but defensive backs, our linebackers as well, probably still aren't top half in the league, I wouldn't say.
By the way, I got to call a couple of people out. I understand Rodney McLeod got an interception. All right.
Man,
but
yeah, he did not have a good
Wow.
game. Here we go. He whiffed on a sack, and I'm just like, dude, really? You had him right in
Oh, you wanted 11
face.
sacks, T?
Yeah, I wanted 11 sacks.
Couldn't
Dog
handle
on it.
10.
Yeah, dog on it. I wanted to set a record.
I'm just more upset because Le'Veon Bell just made him look stupid.
Le'Veon Bell averaged 2.9 yards per carry yesterday.
Yeah,
Or 2
man, they
days
really
ago.
used him more in the
Yesterday,
first
Tuesday.
half.
They did.
2 days ago.
Yeah, they did. That's the only thing. And I got to call one more person out. I got to. I don't want to see Corey Clement touching another football.
Oh, my God. They bring him in to get the punt return, and he muffs it.
I don't.
That's a shame.
I don't need him touching another football for the rest of the season.
Embarrassing.
I'm sorry. I don't know what the heck has happened to Corey Clement, but man, dude, he's got to get it together. I don't know if it's a rhythm thing for him. I don't know if it's because he's not really touching the football. I just don't know, but he needs to get his crap together.
Hey, I mean, you look at what he did in 2017. Tell me there's no talent there.
Wow.
What do you
I'll tell you
mean,
what,
wow?
this team that we're looking at each week is not a Super Bowl
stupid.
contender. There's so many other good teams in the NFC.
I hate to admit it, but I agree with Max.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. I said, I still said the Saints are probably the best team in the NFC.
I think the Seahawks are the best team in the NFC.
Seahawks are pretty good.
Seahawks are very gritty.
Maybe when Drew Brees comes back.
How about
T.
San Francisco?
Now, well,
After last night's performance, you have to buy in.
That-
4-0.
yeah.
The Browns aren't a pushover. They got so many offensive players that are super talented. And Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
The Browns aren't a
During the
pushover?
game, I was thinking, well, it's the Browns, but then I was like, well, the Browns are better. Then that means the 49ers
Jarvis,
are.
OBJ,
It's funny to me, too.
Chubb, who still played well. And then Baker I think he had negative fantasy points.
Yeah,
He might,
negative
yeah.
2.
Like, that was not a very good performance last night.
Jimmy
by the
G, man.
He is
He
lighting
seems
up.
like a rookie or not a younger player because he's only played now 15 games.
15 now?
Mm-hmm.
That backfield in San Francisco is crazy. They have
are.
so much talent.
They
There's
are.
like 3 or 4 running backs that could start on our other teams.
What's scary is they kind of look like the Eagles from 2017. Like, that's the scary part. Like, how they're built. Dominant defense, 3 running backs, strong quarterback, and wide receiver
Oh, man,
play.
talk about defense. Bosa?
Dude.
I thought he was
Man.
just popular because of his brother's name, but now he's actually proven himself. So
Well, I think people know his name or recognize his
obviously.
name more now than his brother.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't go that far yet.
Whoa.
I mean,
He
Oh,
was
no!
making a mockery of Baker Mayfield
Joey
after the game with the
Bosa.
flag.
listen, they tried doubling him. That didn't work. At first they leave him one-on-one with the left tackle. He just ran right by him.
Yeah, just somebody like Bosa.
And
I
Baker's
would never
mobile.
want.
Baker's a mobile quarterback, and he still couldn't get away.
I don't know what's going on with Baker this season. He's just
Because he's smelling himself. Like, I can tell you what, it's a young quarterback mentality. Baker still has showtime in him. And I don't think he's really committing himself to the game of football and developing his craft. And this is what you're getting as a result. Listen, you have a talented offense, but at the end of the day, you still have to study, film. You still have to get camaraderie, get chemistry with your players.
is he too busy doing those commercials on TV?
I think so. I think all this attention is really getting to his head. I really do. Listen, he
Well-
still thinks it's showtime.
Listen, I'm more surprised on the fact that they haven't been able to get Odell Beckham Jr. involved more. I mean, he's probably one of the best receivers in the league, and he hasn't really gotten the ball.
I agree.
Last night they tried incorporating him as a thrower. He threw a pass last night. I mean, they're trying to get
Just
him
stupid.
involved as those end arounds.
Why is that stupid, T?
It's still,
That- yeah,
why,
that
What was that,
why-
20 yards?
Why make
20-yard pass?
but why make Odell Beckham into a thrower?
They're not making him into a.
They're trying to
just
use him.
using him as much as they can.
Yeah, but
Try
I'm going
to
to use him to
use
catch
him.
the football, not throw the football.
I don't know why he's not. I don't know if Baker's just not seeing him or if he's just not getting open, which I would be shocked because of how talented he is.
There was one throw that was a little overthrown to Odell that he could have caught, but he didn't. It just looked like it wasn't an Odell type.
It's stupid.
Type of night.
All I'm saying is I'm not going to make Odell Beckham throw the football. Like, that's just asinine to me.
How old is he now?
It was just a play.
I know.
Is he 29, 30?
About that, yeah.
29, 30?
But, it just doesn't make any sense to me. That's stupid. That's stupid. Odell Beckham
I mean, it worked last year with Jarvis.
Let's move on.
It worked. You know where it really worked out?
Where
In
did
the end
God.
zone of the Super Bowl.
Here
It's
we
just
go.
a play, T.
I know.
Whatever gets them a first down.
former
Moves the
quarterback Trey
sticks.
Burton? Hey, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I know what you guys are saying. It's just a play, and you're doing whatever you can, but you kind of want to save those plays for emergency purposes. If you guys are pulling those plays out, and it's only like week 5, week 6 in the NFL, we got some issues.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. That's when you should pull that out.
That's all I'm saying. Like, we didn't pull out the Philly special until the Super Bowl.
Well, first game of the season last year. So
yeah,
it's
that too.
awkward.
Well, the Falcons were dumb for not seeing that coming. I'm just saying.
I would like to
seen it
point out
coming.
that the Patriots are still the best team in the league, hands down.
I don't see any team. I really don't see any team
This is
beating
coming
them.
from a man who
It's
was wearing
just-
a Boston Red Sox hat last
I'm
week.
just saying, T.
If
What are you
it-
going to disagree with me? What are you going to say? Oh, the 49ers are the best team in the league.
I
They
can't
can beat the
disagree
Patriots.
with you. I
Jimmy
can't.
G can beat the Patriots.
Whatever.
After seeing the Chiefs lose to the Colts,
hear
I
you.
just don't know anymore.
Like, listen, the Colts are
don't know.
bad. Bad men on that team.
I
You-
think the Colts,
you- Colts,
with Andrew
look
Luck,
out.
could have
Yeah,
made
I
it to
agree.
the Super Bowl. I said it before
defense?
the season started.
I agree, man. That Colts is a really gritty team. The fact that you lose your franchise
I think
quarterback.
you're
and-
underplaying Jacoby Brissett.
You basically get ripped off
You do.
because he doesn't. He's not out because of injury. He's out. Well, he is out because of injury in a way, but he
It's
retired.
Right. It's an unexpected retirement, and to still have
They're
a competitive
surviving.
team.
Treading water.
Are you sure about that? You just beat one of the best, arguably the best AFC team.
It's coaching. It was all coaching. Frank Reich, man. He ran right down their throats every time. There was like 6 or 7 plays in a row. They ran right down the middle for like 10 yards.
Agreed.
Marlon Mack over
Is he
100.
not going to be coaching the rest of the season?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
What are you talking about? Your point.
He's still going to be there.
That's my point.
You're
That's
saying
my-
it's coaching.
The
but,
coaching
all
is the
right.
reason they won that football game, yes.
Okay, then what? That could be the next reason that they win the next week and the next week and the next week. Why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. I'm saying it's a good thing.
I hear you.
Giving Frank Reich credit the way he performed on the road on prime time against the best quarterback in the league, and he only held them to what? Well, it was really 10 points because they kicked that cheap field goal at the end with Buckner. But it really held them to 10 points. It was really impressive.
What's funny is, man, I miss Frank Reich. I do. And
Yeah.
the more I watch the Colts, the more I realize that Mike Groh ain't nothing.
I think him and John DiFilippo did a lot more than we thought.
I agree. The prep work, man, and the simple fact that, like I said, you're able to keep a team together even after losing your franchise quarterback, man, that's impressive. Seriously. And then I don't know if
they
you
lost
guys,
their franchise quarterback when they won the Super Bowl?
and I don't know if you guys heard Andy Reid's press conference after the game, dude. It was classic Andy Reid. It was classic Andy Reid at it again.
Stammering Andy Reid?
I got to do a better job. It was funny.
People,
Yeah.
people, I mean,
It was hilarious.
Oh, man.
Classic Andy Reid.
Talk about head coach. The Redskins fired Gruden.
Oh, my God.
I'm sad because
Jay
we dominated the Redskins, so it's sad to see him go.
Whoa. We did not dominate the Redskins. We did not dominate the Redskins.
Not a chance.
We've been whooping them for the past 3-4 years.
32-27 week 1. It was not
That's
dominating.
still a W. It's still a W.
It is
like
a W.
you guys been saying.
What you just used the verbiage I didn't agree with. That's all.
We dominated the Jets. We did not dominate the Redskins.
There we go. There we go. I agree with that, Chris. Thank you.
Maybe in the second half.
Yeah,
But not the first half.
look, either way, we were still.
Who do you
whooping the
guys
Redskins every year.
think will be the Redskins head coach next season?
Ben McAdoo.
Oh yes, please bring Ben McAdoo
Yeah,
back.
bring back-
Yes, please.
bring-
So I can keep whooping up on the Redskins some more.
That
sure.
hair, he looked like a duck. No, you see his hair that's slicked back.
Bunch of low lifes.
It's so funny. He does. He looks like a duck. Pull a picture of him real quick.
With a
I'll
name
pull
like
one up.
McAdoo.
I saw something about Mike Tomlin possibly being the Redskins head coach
Now, that would be a problem.
that would
That would
next
be a-
season, but I don't see that happening.
No, I think Mike Tomlin has a little bit more pride in himself than to, pick a team like the Redskins to coach. Because I'm sorry, as long as Dan Snyder is still the owner of the Redskins, I don't see the Redskins going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put some blame on Dan Snyder as well.
This is
Some,
all
yeah.
on Dan Snyder. Every single last piece of it. The dysfunction of the organization, the fact that, and we can still go back to the year Robert Griffin III was drafted. You trade all those assets to the Rams, and look at what the Rams are now. Look at what happened to all those draft picks and what they turned into. They have a pretty good defense and a pretty good offense. Like, you traded all those assets away from one quarterback who's a backup now, and you draft in the same year the backup quarterback who you had success with for the past maybe 2-3 years, but then you let him go via free agency.
Just want to say Jay Gruden's record for 6 years was 35-49-1, and he made the playoff once.
Wow.
That was the game where RG3 tore his ACL.
Yep. That one time. No. That was Shanahan. That was Mike Shanahan.
Oh, was it Shanahan?
That was
Yeah,
Mike
I remember where they beat us, right? They beat us, and then they went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I think that was that Chip Kelly year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason
It was with Deshaun Jackson.
Yep, it was that Chip Kelly year.
It was a while ago, man. Wow.
Yeah, now he's stinking it up in UCLA. Haha, Chip.
Yeah, he's really the UCLA program is really going downhill. I think they're like 1-4.
Was that like a wise ass comment?
Yeah,
Yes, it
well,
was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was, Chip. That was a direct message straight at you. I don't care. Still suck as a head coach.
Jeez.
That's all I'm saying.
So who's your top college team?
Oh,
Still?
Oh, I'm still with Clemson.
Still Clemson?
I'm still Clemson.
Gators, baby.
And y'all call me a homer.
Yo, Florida played really well this week. I'll give them credit for that.
They got
Yeah, they
LSU
did.
next week, so that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
They have 3 tough games. Don't they play somebody else good after that too? I think they play LSU and then I think maybe Georgia or somebody like that. Let me check it out.
Nebraska.
All I'm saying is I enjoyed my Saturday sitting back smoking me an 8-pound brisket watching college football, man.
They
It's
have
nothing more enjoyable.
Were you
LSU.
smoking?
South Carolina is not a hard game at all. They might just walk through that, and then they have Georgia.
Georgia, yeah. Oh, next weekend. Oh, Wisconsin and a couple. Man, there's so many good football games. Everybody check out college football. It's
This
the
is
best.
quite great radio.
Hey, man, look.
Hey, Chris.
Hey,
We all know you
I'm
don't watch
poking
the
fun.
college
Exactly.
game.
When will?
I'm sorry. I work
All right,
on
let's switch to
Saturdays.
baseball. When
Let's
will
work
Gabe
on- why?
Kapler
Why?
get fired?
It's ridiculous.
Hopefully soon.
And who will replace him?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm still
Once
not
again,
getting
we've had this conversation
I want
already.
to address
but-
the thing
Agreed.
that Tanner sent in the group chat, which was they're basically going to talk to the players about
Yeah.
what they think.
No.
they should do
They're
with
going
Gabe
around
Kapler.
asking opinions
No,
on Gabe
that
Kapler.
is-
No.
That is the
I
equivalent
am
of letting
pissed off.
the players run the ship. You're not supposed to let the players run the ship. The captain captains the ship. You're not supposed to. Of course, I feel like the younger players, like Kingery and Hoskins and Hazley and all them, are going to say, nah, keep him around because,
What are they
he's a
supposed
softer
to say?
guy.
What are they supposed to say? No, I hate this guy? Like, they're
Yeah,
not gonna say
because
that.
then when he stays, he knows what they said about it. But no, it's just taking the pressure off the office about firing and feeling bad about it.
The only guy I see actually speaking his mind, saying that
Bryce
he's
Harper.
not doing a good job is Bryce.
And he's already gone out of his way to say that he doesn't agree with what Kapler has done at some points with either the training that they were doing.
That is blasphemous.
Now, with Bryce Harper's pedigree, do you think that can outweigh most of the team who I feel like he's going to say, nah, keep him around?
I think so. It could, based on
We need
how
a
much
change.
they're paying him.
Yeah.
Why do we have around the same record we had season before, even having JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper,
What's he
Gene
here for?
Segura, McCutcheon? Why do we have the same record?
I agree. We're a better team.
How's that happen?
We're a better team compared to Gabe Kapler's first year. So, how in the world do you still finish around the same record?
That's terrible.
I agree. And then you still had 2 years to fix the doggone pitching. And there's been no kind of effort whatsoever to fix it.
I'm just surprised that they're bringing these guys back. I really am. I look around watching these baseball playoffs, and we are miles and miles behind other teams.
Yes.
The Braves are. You don't watch. You're not going to stay up like 9 o'clock West Coast to watch the Dodgers like in the middle of July probably. But when you sit down and watch postseason baseball and watch the Braves and how talented, and the Cardinals and the Brewers even before they got knocked out, the Nationals. I mean, these teams are just miles ahead of us, and we don't really have, any idea. We don't even know if we want to bring back our own manager. I mean, we're in a really bad spot right now.
And I think this really sends.
In a way, we're in rebuild mode after just rebuilding.
That's the crazy part, and we have so many dominant players at key positions. The only thing that we really need to fix up is the pitching.
We don't have any money though left. I know there's no cap in baseball.
Whose fault is that?
But
Who
people are
wanted to pay
saying
somebody $330
stupid
million?
money. He wanted
people
to
are
spend.
saying go out and give Garrett Cole like $200 million. We just gave Harper $300. What do you like? Why are we? And these are one player. I mean, you could easily get like, if you're a good GM, 3 or 4 players within that $2 million range. You're going to give out for one pitcher. I get we need pitching, but one player's not going to solve our problems.
Look,
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Tanner, I know T switched sides, and I've really been thinking hard about it. Maybe trading Rhys Hoskins might be an option worth
That hurts
shopping
my
around.
heart.
Look, I know. Look, when Rhys Hoskins hit his 16th home run after his 36th game, I was like, I gotta get myself a Rhys Hoskins shirt. All right.
I have a
Look,
Rhys Hoskins jersey.
I know
Chris.
you do. I know you do.
One thing.
Well, you have more money than me. Whatever.
One thing I
Whatever.
saw from
and you work,
Reese.
You work at the piece of Swiss cheese place. Whatever. You know what?
One thing I saw from Reese as the season went on, especially in August and September,
What'd
was
you see
he
from
just
Reese?
looked like he wasn't in it.
No.
His head wasn't in it.
He looked like a robot.
He didn't care. He strike out, mope on back onto the dugout. Like, I don't know what happened to him, but what he was
Maybe
doing.
he doesn't believe in the coach.
Well, then
Okay, is that so? Sure, great, but I don't know. Maybe get a little more fired up. Look at Bryce.
Body language says
I
it all
know that
about
Rhys
a player.
Hoskins is a better player than what he showed in the second. I mean, his defense just. I mean, there was plays where he just missed the ball. I remember a couple times where a ground ball was hit and they would throw it and he would just miss it with his glove.
This is my only thing. If that were to happen, trading Rhys Hoskins, who do you put it first?
No, we're not trading Rhys Hoskins.
Logan Morris? I know we're not. But
Franco.
That's the thing. Franco probably.
You don't trade him because you
I
don't
hope
have anybody else.
Franco's
You're the one who brought up the idea.
I did bring up the idea, and then I thought about it for 2 weeks, and I'm saying to myself, "Oh, who are we gonna put? Are we gonna spend another $50 million to bring in another first baseman?"
You
The
can't
guy
get rid of
who
Rhys.
staked the flag for trading Rhys Hoskins went to the other side.
Are you still on the bandwagon of trade Reese?
Well, I wasn't, but now I'm like thinking about it. It's like, geez, who can you? Because you can't just go out to free agency now and get a
What are
good
you
pitcher.
trying to gather? Assets, draft picks? What do you? I mean, you're not going to get players back that are better than him.
Well, no, you draft picks. That's too cheap for me. I am looking for
Pitcher.
pitching prospects because you're not
Just
going to
prospects?
Get,
We
you're
need someone now.
You're
Yeah.
not going to get
This is a win
an
now
effective
built team.
win now pitcher with. Maybe you could. Maybe you could get a
Maybe
3-4
throw
guy.
Cesar in there.
Well, like I said, there's a sucker anywhere, so
You can maybe get a 3-4 guy with Hoskins. You're not going to get a 2. I mean,
I agree with you 100%. The only difference maker we have on our team is JT Realmuto, the guy you look at and says, "Okay, wow, he's better than what anybody else in the league has as a catcher."
oh yeah, easily.
Flat out. You're not getting your money's worth for Bryce Harper. You're not paying for his stats. There's a guy in Kansas City by the name of Jorge Soler. I don't know if anybody here knows him.
No, yeah.
He had 47 home runs. A guy you never heard of before hit 47. Price hit 35.
I'm sick of this.
You're paying for his face. You're paying for his brand. And, that'll get the seats filled, but that won't add up to W's in the win column. Jeez. So we're a little handcuffed with money. I know I get it. People may want to spend and spend and spend, but we need to, and going back we watched Moneyball the other day in class, we need to sit down and really think okay, on a smaller budget, not that we do have a small budget, but
We need
on
Brad Pitt in here.
we really do need.
No, we need Jonah Hill in here.
We really do need a philosophy where you're not being the Yankees and going out and spending $100 million on Chapman as a relief pitcher who pitches once every 3 days. we really need to have a good philosophy where we're having guys that get on base and just like knock runs across. I mean, how many times have we seen it this year? We get a leadoff double with nobody out. We can't move the runner over. We can't hit a sac fly. I mean, that's an easy run right there.
Yep.
We can't bunt. Every time somebody goes to bunt, they either bunt it foul, they bunt it up in the air, and it's caught. Like, so many fundamentals. It's just frustrating.
It's an easy run for good teams.
So do you attribute that to the players, or do you attribute that to the coaching?
Both.
I got to say it is both, because there's times where we should bunt. I'm saying bunt in my head. We're watching the game and we don't, and we swing away and ground into a double play or something. Or the personnel wise, Kapler sends up Andrew Knapp in certain situations when anybody else on the team. I don't care who it is, Brad Miller, Sean Rodriguez. I don't care about righty lefty. I really don't care about
Vargas.
I do not care. A lot of people say, "Oh, the lefty's coming in." Bring the righty. I don't care about the splits. Is the guy a professional hitter? Can the guy get on base? Like, Rodriguez has been in the league 12 plus years. Knapp is horrible, flat out.
If Knapp's on the team next season, I don't look why.
And again, I agree with that, because listen, Real Muto played so many games this year, and you don't want. I know he's in his prime and he can handle the load, but you don't want that. You don't want your catcher.
I don't want to hear
some minor
two men
leaguer,
on base, Andrew Knapp's on the plate. I don't want to hear that anymore.
Some minor leaguer has to be better than him. Some minor leaguer.
And you need to.
Dumbass.
I feel like everybody's trying to hit the home run ball. You
Go
gotta
ahead, T.
Just move the runners.
Grab a glove.
Move the runners over.
Yeah.
That's what was
I watched
great
the
about
Braves.
Ichiro.
Yeah,
He wasn't concerned about home runs. He was just concerned about getting on freaking base.
Freddie Freeman, he'll hit the ball to second base. He'll hit it purposely, hit the ball to second base. He's not trying to hit a home run in certain situations in close games and stuff like that.
He is, that guy.
So we need more smart players.
I think we should maybe try stealing more.
That's That's one thing that we really don't do.
We didn't get in a scoring position, and we didn't have. The problem is sometimes you don't want to steal because you want to gather the base runners as much as you can. But the fact that we couldn't get a hit because we didn't have the talent on the team. Once we got our studs on base, like Harper Hoskins, you get down there, you got Kingery, who sometimes could do something. Cesar really couldn't consistently. Franco could. The bottom of the lineup is really thin, and they weren't able to knock in runs. So we know it's hard.
The crazy thing is, you say that, but we went into the season like, look at how deep this lineup is.
Well, I think the one thing that we forget is Odubel Herrera was supposed to be a stud in the 7-hole, because 2 years ago he hit 3 for us and had a really good season. He struggled down the stretch in 2 years ago, the end of 2 years ago. But now coming back next season, do we bring him back? Probably not, because teams don't like to have that baggage around. But I would bring him back. He was a good center fielder, and he's a good piece in that lineup.
You know what? No, I wouldn't, just because I like what I saw out of Corey Dickerson. I want to keep Andrew McCutchen around.
I don't think we're going to be able to keep Corey Dickerson around. I think somebody's going to give him a big contract somewhere else.
Hey, maybe. How big of a contract is 8 home runs and 30 some?
Well, you got to remember. You got to remember. I don't know if first of all, he's not a center fielder. McCutchen will come back and play left.
McCutchen can play center.
Not at this point in his career.
Not at this point in his career.
He's going to be 33, 34 years old. He's not over. He's a left fielder.
And then having Hazley as the 4, I'd be cool with that.
Hazley's going to be a good bench piece next year.
Yeah,
he's going to be a good bench outfielder next season. But I think we need. I don't know if we're going to bring Herrera back. There's been no movement on that front.
No,
everybody's kind of keeping quiet.
I don't think he's coming back.
But I would be surprised if he does. But again, as of right this second, he's still on the roster. We haven't cut him yet. We haven't released him or anything like that. So it's just a name to poke around.
I know this is a guy that I keep putting my hopes into. We do still have Roman Quinn too, who I think can
injury
become.
Prone.
Yeah, I know he's injury prone, but I feel like he could be an effective. He's an effective base runner now. He just has to get that contact up. Come on.
He kind of reminds me of Billy Hamilton.
Oh yeah.
He can't really hit that well. I think he's a better hitter than Hamilton, because Billy Hamilton really just that's been his.
That guy can fly.
His problem all of his career. He just couldn't get any hits. He would hit 200 and then get on base, and then obviously use his speed. But I don't think Roman Quinn just can't stay healthy. We say it every single year. He's injury prone and can never stay healthy. But it's just been frustrating, and watching the games in the postseason with all the other teams is just, you look at it and go, we're not even close, and not one off season is going to fix that. But we can start by firing our manager like today.
And that's the thing. I think that's the part that's even more frustrating, is the fact that, look, you're inept at the coaching position. I think we can all agree with that in this room. And I think management sees that. If they don't see that, then they're blind.
I think by Saturday we'll have our answer on if Kapler's staying.
Our owner doesn't even know what to do.
Right. That's the crazy
That's
part.
That's a problem. When
Fire
your
the owner. Wait, you can't do
If
that.
they don't know what to do, that means they have no idea who's going to take over.
Middleton
for
cares
them.
too much about what people think, and instead of just acting, like we need to make decisive decisions. Who we bringing back? Who we cutting? Who is going to be starting first next season? I mean, I know the season ended 2 weeks ago, but these are questions that you need to ask because eventually, before you know it, spring training will be here, and are we going to have the same team as we did last year? We can't because it's just not good enough.
I hope not. Because, no, it's not good enough. And listen, and we've discussed this before, but there is a thing called overcoaching in baseball. And sometimes you just need to go back to an old school mentality, go back to an old school way of thinking. Sometimes, I mean, this new school coaching with analytics and stuff, like we bring up stats all the time in the show to back up our points. And that's good. That's fine. But when you start over analytically criticizing the game, I think that's when you take the fun out of it. Like, I didn't see too much fun this year out of the Phillies. Like
Early in the year.
Early in the year, like they were swinging for the fences and everything was, ho hum and everything was beautiful. But now, I mean, towards the midpoint and the end of the season, you saw that that fun being sucked out of the team.
Let me ask
2
you,
months in, they stopped doing.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
We brought up the whole Moneyball thing. That's analytically driven, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people around our area are saying we don't want analytical people. Like Gabe Kapler he looks at his numbers, he looks at his stats, and righty lefty averages, things like that. Mm-hmm. Do you guys want to shy away from analytics, or do you think that we should continue on the path that we're on, maybe with just more or different personnel?
I'm not saying shy away completely from analytics because there is a spot for it in sports. As a matter of fact, Doug Peterson has a specific analytic group that goes into his ears and tell him what's the best thing to do on certain downs. I think there's a spot for it, but then there's still, at the end of the day, knowing the game and still coaching the game. Yes, it's good to have that information, and it's good to use that information. But doggone it, sometimes you just got to go back to your gut instinct and just play the game.
I agree. I think it goes both ways. You want to rack up as many wins as possible during the regular season. Look at the Minnesota Twins. I mean, they had over 100 wins. They lost 3 straight games to the Yankees, and their season's over just like that in a snap of a finger. So you want to rack up as many W's as you can, but when you get to the playoffs, you better have guys that know what they're doing, and
Exactly.
you better have veterans on the team. You better have guys, because it's one at bat, man. Each at bat is so valuable, so important. We're not playing 162, racking up as many wins as we can, right? The Twins didn't have that. They don't have guys they don't have the Aaron Judges of the world. They don't have the Stantons or the Gary Sanchez's of the world or the James Paxtons or either bullpen Adam Ottavino and Aroldis Chapman. They don't have those guys. They have talented little dudes that can rack up all those little feisty guys, small ball type players. They did hit a lot of home runs this season, but maybe they relied on that too much. And when you go and play a team like the Yankees, you better be able to put runs on the board because the Yankees are. They weren't able to.
The only team advancing thus far in the playoffs.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Tonight's game 4 of Astros-Rays.
I mean, I'm literally seriously. Think about that for a second. You're the Philadelphia Phillies. You win 100 games this year, or 102 games this year, for example. You lose 3 straight in a row to, say, the Dodgers, and the season's over. Like, it goes both ways. It sucks we didn't make the playoffs, but look at all the Twins fans out there. I mean, they literally won over 100 games, and they're done just like that. It's the season's done. So
I mean, that's true because
it has to go both ways.
Tough matchup.
Like you said, the Twins are mostly a small ball type of team, so that's only gonna go so far in the MLB because you still need those home run hitters. You still need those big guys to send that ball over the wall.
You need to have difference makers.
I agree.
The Twins have a huge group of good, solid players. They don't have that 2 or 3 or 4 difference makers on the team.
But also look at you just described it, how they played this year, how they played small ball, how they played to the strength of their team. And that's the thing. I didn't see that too much. We don't play small ball. We just play, all right, let's hit the crap out of it and let's see where it goes.
Here's our problem. We do have difference makers on our team. We have Real Muto. He's a difference maker behind the plate, defensively and offensively.
Yes.
Harper's a difference maker. Aaron Nola is a difference maker. Kingery could have come into his own and become a difference maker, but we don't have that core group, that big group. We're top heavy. Once we get past our 3, 4, 5 best players,
that's it.
It's really thin. We need to have
guys.
depth. We need to have a core group of solid players so we can rack up 90 to 100 wins during the regular season. But when playoff time comes, we have the Aaron Nolles of the world and the Bryce Harpers in order to carry us, because then that's when you rely on your dogs. That's when you rely on your top guys to really get you W's in the postseason.
Right.
Because that's when it comes down to one at-bat, one play. Anything like that.
Speaking of good baseball teams, Wednesday night we have Game 5 Cardinals Braves and Game 5 Nats Dodgers.
That's those pitching match. Do you see this pitching matchup?
Yeah,
Strasburg, Walker Buehler.
Man.
T, what are you doing Wednesday night?
Bueller.
Probably break it down. to
You're
all 22.
watching the Nats Dodgers. That's what you're doing. Strasburg against Walker Buehler elimination game. That's the game of the year, probably.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'll
Neil?
watch that, but I'll have the Flyers game on my phone.
Well, we got what about like a minute here? The Flyers did to pick up a
We got
solid
couple
win.
More. We got first game of the
We got
season.
like 10 minutes.
All right. No, it was a great win, and you fly halfway across the country, you want to get, or halfway across the world, you want to get a W, and we were able to do it.
They looked a lot better than they have in the past years, and that's solely because of Alain Vigneault's. Oh yeah, we're kind of switching hockey. Alain Vigneault's style of hockey, dude. Alain Vigneault has a track record of winning, and I don't know if you're watching the behind the scenes thing.
Wait, Alain Vigneault.
Quit
what did he
yucking
say,
my
the
yum.
coach?
Yeah, the coach.
Yeah.
Alain Vigneault. He's been to the finals twice with 2 different teams.
Yeah, I saw one video he put out where he was just like no BS type of guy.
And that's exactly what he is, and he is pushing the players a lot harder than Dave Hackstall ever did.
Yeah.
And you can see it in the way they play.
Konechny played well. He
Too
looks like a
strong.
different
Get
player.
your weight up.
That is one of the best games I've ever seen him play.
The Devils are going to be a tough test though at home. Finally come back a home opener. They were decent last year.
They were, but I believe they're 0-2 so far.
Yeah, they did. They lost the overtime game. I watched last week against the Jets.
Against the Jets, and then I think they lost a couple nights.
The next night they had to play Buffalo. I think they got beat.
Buffalo's starting hot too.
I gotta ask you too something. This is a serious question because, like I said, I have a conquest to get every home jersey and custom made in my name.
Whatever.
So should I invest in a Flyer sweater this year?
That's up to you. You can afford Fiji water,
You know
so I
what?
guess so.
You know what?
See, I would hold off on it just because we don't know if we're going to be great yet. But if we turn out to be great, then you can do it.
Yeah.
all right.
No. Don't. You've made me lose my.
No, I'll talk about.
No, the devil. I mean, the Devil's got PK Subban, who is a solid defenseman.
Are the Blackhawks supposed to be good this year? Like, is that an impressive win?
Blackhawks, they're not the studs they used to be. They're not the 3 championships in 5 years or 6 years. That's not them anymore. But they still got a solid core. They're still going to be contending for the playoffs, but they're not that team to beat that like they were before.
I'm just happy to get a W pick up. Now we're coming back home, and we played Friday. We didn't have to play again until Wednesday, so we got a solid couple of days off.
Nobody cares about hockey, Max.
Plenty of prep.
Gee, man, that was loud. You're an angry little guy.
Turn down the headphone volume. I like
little.
Hey, I like your hat a lot more compared to your
You don't
hat
call me
last
Big
week.
T for nothing.
Whatever.
All right, let's go to this orange ball sport, basketball. Now, Sports Illustrated released the top 100 players, and all 5 starters on the Sixers are above 70, within top 75. Tobias Harris, 49. Al Horford, 18. Joel Embiid, 7. Ben Simmons, 23. And Josh Richardson, 71.
Nice.
Is there any player that you think was ranked too low, high? Embiid, too high?
Nah. I think that's right around.
I think Simmons, if
Simmons
hell,
too high?
Simmons could come out and start hitting threes, and then he could
Yeah,
be.
I
and
agree.
all the way up there.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then
Harris could be a little bit low.
By
I
the
think
way,
he's better than. I mean,
Tanner-
if his defense picks up,
Tanner, I kid you not. If you send me one more video of Ben Simmons shooting a 3-point in practice, I kid you not, I'm gonna choke you out.
dude, how great was he looking?
Dude, it's practice.
solid, right? He was looking pretty solid.
Hey.
It's practice.
We talking about practice.
Hey,
When
Thank
do you
you,
think?
AI.
When do you think? What game do you think we will see him shoot
The
his
first one, the first game
The
of the
first
season.
one. You think
Yeah,
he's going to come
definitely.
out firing?
Definitely.
I hope so.
He'll come out and shoot. He'll
And
shoot
my first reaction is going to be this.
It's about damn time.
unless
Thank
he
you,
misses
LeBron.
it. Unless he
Wow.
misses it.
No,
Gonna have
but
to wait another
at
day.
least he's building confidence. But then also during the summer, a player has been working harder and harder to not let his team down, and that player is Joel Embiid. He's lost 20 pounds over the summer.
Yep, I seen that.
And I'm kind of, we talked about J.J. Redick last
Laying off
season
the
and the
Chick-fil-A.
shooting that he brought, but I'm kind of happy that we have Richardson now. Apparently, this guy, I haven't seen him play yet in a Sixer uniform, obviously, but I mean, apparently he's a two-way player. He can play both ends of the floor, really athletic, can shoot a little bit.
DM3 guy.
Yeah.
He's a real big DM3 guy. I'm really excited for this upcoming season, man. I really am. Dude, we're going to have
be fun.
A healthier Joel Embiid.
Yes.
I just want Al Horford. His knees he's older now. His knees are a little banged up.
We're going to have to take a group
manage
trip.
him throughout the season. Don't be – listen, a game against the Phoenix Suns in December – it's rest Embiid or rest somebody. If we lose, fine, whatever. We're going to make the playoffs. We just got to get in and be. If we're the 1 seed, great. If we're not, we have the talent to manage that.
I think the four
It's
of us
weird
should take
because
a
we
trip
said that
to
about the
Sixers
Phillies
game.
making the playoffs, but
Yeah, but
whatever. You can never be too sure.
Yeah, but I think we're.
But
a
if
little
we
bit more
don't make the
confident in
playoff, if these Sixers do not make the playoffs,
yeah.
something went terribly.
Oh yeah, we got
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
Huge problem.
But just get in. And baseball is different because all you want to focus on is just getting in, and then anything can happen. Basketball, you want to be in the top 2. Hopefully, you want to kind of play the weaker opponents.
about
Knock out the
seeding.
small dog.
Exactly. You want to get the higher seeds, but I think we will. I mean, if Ben Simmons takes the step forward we all think he's capable of, look out, because this team is definitely going to be a finals contender.
I'm gonna start looking at some tickets so that we can go to a game together.
Sixers
They're gonna be very
games are
expensive.
great.
Those are going to be
Fun to go to. Very fun to
I
go
can't
That's why you-
afford stuff like that.
You gotta start early. That's why you gotta start early, doggone it.
You work every single day.
That's a good point. I looked at Phillies tickets before they Phillies signed Bryce Harper, and they were like $20.
You got your Flyers tickets yet?
Dude, those are too expensive.
Really?
Yes.
I thought they came out with this new thing that's standing room only. You only had to pay like $15. You can go anywhere you want.
I'm not going to stand in the concourse.
No, they have
and watch
they
it
have
on
an
TV.
actual section. No, you don't.
I haven't been in the Wells
They
Fargo
made up
Center
this
since
whole new
the
thing.
renovations.
They
So I
did
don't know.
all this offseason. They did renovations. They gave it a whole section.
Let's focus
I'm
on
not
the
putting up
Eagles.
with
It's been a
It's too
while
much
since I've
horse
been in the Wells Fargo
It's
Center.
too much.
All right, Peter. Jeez, calm down, buddy.
All right. Flyers are in full swing now. It's finally starting up. Sixers coming up. It's a good time of the year.
Yes, it is. I love this. time
Every
of the year for
sport.
sports.
You wanted to say something about the Eagles?
Oh, I'm just saying we need to look forward to next week against the Vikings
Yeah.
and see what they can do.
Agreed.
I just in the next 4 games.
Tough stretch,
As far
4
as
games.
the Eagles, I think we're going to go 3-1. I think the team we're going to lose to are the Bills.
Wow.
I don't know. If you can get to Josh Allen though, that guy.
That's
is
my whole thing.
So good.
Coming
at
out of the
throwing
bye,
picks.
we also have
The Patriots.
and the Seahawks right after them.
Yeah.
So the next
And then
Those
I
are
think
gonna
we
be
can.
tough.
I think we can win 5 straight at the end of the season. We got the Giants twice, Dolphins.
That's going to be the push that we need to get into the playoffs, or at least a wild card spot.
this is where we have to weather the storm.
Yep.
Just kind of go 500.
Yep.
2-2 the next 4.
I
Go
agree.
into the bye week.
1-0 each week. That's what Doug Peterson's telling his guys.
Yep. 1 week at a time, baby.
All right, Chris.
Oh, each week.
All
Jay,
right.
say your thing.
All right. If
Say-
you missed any of this episode, you can always go to philly-experience.simplecast.com. We are available on all major platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and more. So take a listen. Listen and talk to us on Twitter at DPhillyEXP1 on Twitter. All right, come on, Eagles. I need y'all to get y'all stuff together.
Go Birds.
Let's go back and fly.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
We was catching him, unlike Aguilar and his mishaps. I like to put that out there.
Because that guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
You make me sick.